Find the slope of the line. Given 2 points, we're going to stack and subtract. I can put this 4, -7 underneath the first point. It doesn't matter which order you write it in. What does matter is that you remember to subtract. So 1 subtract a -7. Well, again, that's a little hard to do. So I can change the subtracting to adding the opposite. So I'll make that 4 negative and make that 7 positive. Now it reads 1 plus 7 is 8. That is the numerator, and in the denominator will be this next number. -3 plus -4 is -7. So the slope, which we represent with the letter M, is -8/7. We do definitely want to leave this as a top-heavy fraction and not a mixed number, because we need to go down 8 and then we would go over 7. Let's look at another example. This time I'm going to write the second set of numbers underneath. And it doesn't matter which way you stack them. You'll get the same answer. If it's a negative, that negative could either appear in the top or out in front or in the denominator. But if I'm going to try and do subtraction here, I need to have common denominators. And remember, I'm actually subtracting. And subtraction is so hard to do, we generally add the opposite. So I'll change that and change both of those. Now here again, I need that common denominator. The common denominator would be 4. So if I multiply multiply the numerator by 4 and the denominator by 4, then I'll have a common denominator. So now this is the amount -12. -12 plus -3 is -15. And the denominator is still 4. Now that number represents the numerator for the slope. In the denominator, we're going to have the second set of numbers, +1/6 plus -7/2. Again, I need a common denominator, which this time would be 6. So I need to multiply this denominator by 3 and this numerator by 3. So this is the number -21. Add +1 is -20. And the denominator is 6. Now in general, we're not going to write an answer that has a fraction within a fraction. So we're going to take this -15/4 and say that we're dividing by our -26. And we don't divide fractions, we actually multiply by the reciprocal. So -15/4 is being multiplied by 6/-20. And let's do some reducing. 5 goes into 15 3 times, 5 goes into 20 4 times. 2 goes into 4 twice, 2 goes into 6 3 times. So our slope for this answer is a -3 times 3 is -9 over a +4 times a -2 is -8. And we won't leave an answer with a negative both in the numerator and the denominator. So our answer for this slope is just 9/8.